Hello everyone, and I guess we are now at the finals of our own little World Cup. So I hope your studies are going good and the momentum is all up and high. I know there would be a bit of nervousness, anxiety, and hopefully a lot of excitement for the next few weeks that are in front of us. These are probably some of the most important days that we are going to address, but it's very important that you take each day at a time and don't really freak out much. That does not really help. Taking each day at a time does a good job. So in today's video, we are going to do a very quick discussion regarding what should be your possible study plan, the sequence that you need to follow, a few important topics that you need to cover, the do's and don'ts, etc. I'll try to keep it quick and crisp because I can understand that you are now in your exam study mode. So in terms of the sequence, ideally, so I will just, this is a broadly similar study plan as compared to what we shared earlier as well, because kind of there's no new changes in your syllabus per se, and the study sequence should ideally remain the same. So there are various time frames that you can follow. I would personally recommend you allocating around 6 days for your FR course. It is the first exam. It is something where you have the luxury of ideally covering the entire course. You don't just have 1.5 half days. So why kind of compromise with that? Get your openers to fire for you in the best possible way, and your other batsmen will also perform well. So I would recommend you dedicate 6 days, but again depend on your preparation strategy. If you have lesser time, maybe 5, maybe 4. We have even shared the time scale, and that for 4 days, below 4 days, I don't have the courage to share it with you. So might as well I assume that you manage at least 4 days for your FR paper. Okay. So when we look at your sequence, ideally I would start with share-based payments and then move on to financial instruments. Financial instruments is like the heart of your index. So it is important that you get done with it properly. When you look at share-based payments, the important parts over here would be ESOP with cash alternatives and modification of ESOP plan and performance vesting, in my understanding. When we look at financial instruments, the standard parts which are extremely important would be the loans which are at off-market transactions where you do amortized cost working, and the compound financial instruments. They continue to be important. Having said that, even items like derecognition of financial liabilities, please try to kind of discuss and do the sums on that properly. Next, you go to the asset link standards. All the asset link standards. So once you have done financial instruments and share-based payment, try to kind of move on to the asset link standards. The standard, I mean, all of them which are, I think, in your module 2, if you're in your ICI study material, will be covered over here. The important ones, in my opinion, would be Ind AS 16 on PP and impairment. There would be other standards as well, but I mean, I'm not just kind of going around reading those standards. 16 and 36 would be slightly more important from an exam perspective. Once you are done with all the asset link standards, so we are trying to balance our preparation. We are trying to do some big chapters, then do asset link standards, then again go to big chapters, then again do standards. So then we'll again go to chapters. This is where you go to business combination, and you will also finish the chapter on leases on the next day, because leases is also asset linked. So it's a fairly big standard. Again, within leases, there's a huge chapter, a lot of sums. Again, the COVID-19 impact, etc., is not as significant as of now. But when you look at the standard on leases, I would definitely recommend that you focus more on the numerical part of the standard, that is in general for business combination, for lease, consolidation, as well as financial instruments. The numerical part is more important. So we would look at the part where there is accounting, there's modification of lease, sale and lease back. These would be the important parts. In business combination, the part that starts from the purchase consideration calculation going on to the bigger sums. Institute has this habit recently of kind of merging adjustments from multiple problems. They're not really devising, thankfully, completely different and new problems, but they are kind of playing around with the problems where 1 or 2 adjustments from a particular question, 1 or 2 adjustments from another question, they're merging it. So that way, look at the bigger questions of business combination for sure. So ensure that you do them properly. Then you go to leases. Leases are done. Then you go to deferred taxes, because along with business combination, there is some impact of deferred taxes as well on business combination. And then you go to consolidation. And along with consolidation, you do foreign exchange, because there are quite a few adjustments linked to that. So that kind of wraps up your bigger topics, except for revenue, which is still remaining. Then you, on the next day, you finish off revenue and leases and your liability linked standards, so employee benefits, Ind AS 37, even EPS, etc. Finish that off, and then you keep everything else, all the other standards, Ind AS 1, 7, 8, 10, all of these for the last day, and keep some buffer time when you are kind of studying. Obviously, hopefully you should be able to stick into this time schedule, but keep some buffer time so that you kind of have time to go through the important aspects. Let us say if you have half a day or a day, that is very magical if you kind of invest some time at the end. So this is regarding your study plan. Briefly speaking, start with financial instruments and share-based payment, then move on to asset linked standards, moving on to then consolidation, business combination, then doing revenue and the other important topics, and all the sundry accounting standards later. This is probably the last attempt where CSR can be asked, after which CSR is moving out of your, and even integrated reporting is moving out of your syllabus from May 24. So it's quite likely that you are going to get a question on CSR, at least in this attempt. It's quite likely. So also do CSR properly. In terms of your study plan now, as of now, stick to your plan. Don't really refer 10 different things. You focus on what you think is appropriate for you. A few quick do's and don'ts. Try to cover all topics. That nervousness that I've left one, hopefully that should not come, because segment reporting came in the last attempt, it will not come now. Don't go into that. That amount of time you invest in thinking and evaluating all of that, you quickly refer and you will finish off the topic. Don't try to kind of pick and choose. Yes, if you have not done anything in the past, this is probably not the time where you refer something new. You want your momentum to be kind of with you. You want your confidence to be with you. So if you have not done anything, don't worry. Keep up. Give yourself a pat on your back. Take 5 deep breaths and proceed. Don't really refer to new stuff as of now. Unless you have some really good amount of confidence and positive momentum your way. Try to cover, strengthen, consolidate your strengths rather than focusing a lot on what you have not done. Focus on what you have done so that you kind of encash on what is to be, what comes in the paper. Generally, FR papers are by and large papers from the material itself. You don't really get a lot of new questions. Yes, some new adjustments can come, but by and large you have enough matter in front of you to manage your entire paper and score exemption and above. Try to practice one numerical question from the bigger chapters like consolidation, business combination. Usually we are used to seeing this in the last few days, but the problem is when we have to solve it in the exam, the flow on how this should proceed, etc. I know it will take a little bit of time, but it is better to experiment before the exam rather than on the exam day. So how much time is going for my schedule 3 balance sheet for topics, some that I even know? How should I prepare my notes? How does my working notes appear? Just one question, it should be fine. Even for some longer questions where you are facing a difficulty, it's preferable if you do it on pen and paper so that you get your flow in place. Don't really try to compare your preparation with someone else's. You're fighting your own battle. You're not really fighting everyone else's battle over here. So try to focus on your preparation. Don't really compare. Whatever you have done, back yourself on that. Try to manage your time now as well as in the papers. What the targets that you have set, try to stick to those targets while you are even preparing, not just for FR, even for other papers. And in the exam, the golden rule is 1.8 minutes per mark. So if you have a question involving 10 marks, finish it in 18 minutes. If you have a question involving 5 marks, finish it in 9 minutes, and so on. If you are overshooting in a particular question, ensure that you kind of try to cover up in a subsequent question. Otherwise, remember, you have a finite amount of time. You have 180 minutes, and when you are using the reading time, ensure that you do not read the first question. You have to attempt it in any case. While reviewing the other questions, try to just focus on the question which you want to start first, which you are the most comfortable with, and try to kind of eliminate or shortlist a question that you don't want to attempt. Don't read question 1 and try to figure out which question you want to start and which question you don't want to kind of attempt on. Don't really focus a lot on the presentation, ruling, etc. No, you get your matter right, content right, and that should be sufficient. At the initial stages, you will spend a lot of time probably getting the format and then realizing that you are not able to complete 15 or 20 marks of your paper. That does not really do well. Ensure that you kind of from the first minute just kind of keep on writing. You should not even lift your head up. Keep on writing whatever you know, just keep on writing, and trust me, you are going to do well. there might be cases where maybe there is a difficult paper, but remember, a difficult paper comes with a fairly lenient correction. Then this has been the pattern all across. Don't think in the middle of your papers that I want to skip this, I want to do that. No, if you have taken this, finish it. Come what may, finish it. There is no point. You're not going to do anything very highly material. So don't let that thought come into your mind. That is a strict no. Whatever happens, you're going to give all the papers that you have decided and prepared for. At this stage, you are just touching upon matter, just refreshing everything that is in your mind, and hence a positive mindset is very, very essential. You get your due share of sleep, get your positive mindset in place. I know ideally one should aim for perfection, but remember, give yourself some credit. It is possible that you might make an error, a silly mistake. Even we made it, our seniors made it, our colleagues made it, and a lot of students also do it. So don't kind of go really hard on yourself for making that silly mistake. It is why it is called as a silly mistake. You will make some, let it go, focus on the next paper once the first paper is done. This is a very, very important and a crucial phase in your preparation. Ensure that you kind of are positive about it. It's an exam, yes, but it is something which will give you a lot of learning, a lot of experience. Approach it with a positive mindset. You have to score probably 50 overall to clear, and that is going wrong every alternate question and still passing, and hence you have an enough margin of error. I kind of tell you every time, don't really be so hard on yourself. One question you don't know, arey bapre, that's fine. That's fine. I know you should know everything, but if something goes out of the park, it's fine to kind of handle it in a way that you are still managing to score your entire passing marks. Don't sit and total your marks after the paper. I know it's easier said than done, but avoid falling into that temptation. Try to focus on the next paper. After that, you have enough time where you can do all of that, but not while you are preparing for the papers. Just try to keep a positive momentum, keep on studying, keep on getting your adequate sleep, adequate focus on your health. Do not eat anything outside. Now, the last thing you want is a bad stomach while you're writing your paper. So ensure that you are in the right frame of mind, as physically as well as mentally. And I'm sure you're going to rock it. You're going to make your parents proud, yourself proud, and and the professors as well. So I'm wishing you all the very best. Please give it your best shot. I'm sure you're going to do well. Good luck, bye-bye, and take care.